Petri Nets in Science and Engineering. This course is brought to you by Gilad James Mystery School. Learn more at giladjames.com. Introduction. The Petri nets are one of the most widely used methods for the study of the dynamics that falls within the category of discrete event systems, DES. The day is a class of systems that are guided by the occurrence of events asynchronous in time, which are becoming more and more relevant nowadays. The Petri nets are graphically represented as a directed graph, with two classes of nodes, called places and transitions. The places allow capturing the state of a system. They also represent the conditions required by the events to occur, or to execute, in the day. The transitions represent the events, or actions, executed in a system. The execution of the transitions may require one or more conditions to be activated. Moreover, it is possible that a transition does not include input places, as T1N. This class of transitions allows capturing situations in a day where an event may be random or stochastic, for example, the arrival of an information package in a communication channel. The explanation of the Petri net will be addressed later in this section, after the introduction of the system that it represents. Depicts a conceptual diagram of a multitasking manufacturing system. The system is supplied with a raw material from two conveyors, C1 and C2. A robot arm distributes the raw material to either a mill machine or to a lather machine, depending on the manufacturing recipe. The semi-finished pieces are then moved by transporting bands to the assembly machine. A multitasking manufacturing station. The system is supplied with raw material from two inventory ESC1 and 2. A robotic arm moves the raw pieces to the mill machine or to the lather machine depending on a manufacturing recipe. The robotic arm then moves the semi-finished pieces to the assembly station, where final products are produced. Depicts a Petri net model for this multitasking manufacturing system. The supply of the raw material is represented as two transitions with no inputs. It means the material may arrive at any time that the inventory of raw pieces is able to feed the manufacturing system. The robotic arm moves the raw pieces to the mill machine, by means of T4, or to the lather machine, by means of T5. The semi-finished pieces are moved to the assembly station to produce a final product. A Petri net model for the multitasking manufacturing system. The model is divided into a supply section, a robot section, lather and mill sections, and assembly section. The supply raw material is handled by a robotic arm that moves it to the lathered 5 or milled 4 machine depending on a recipe. The semi-finished pieces are routed to the assembly machine by 3 different ways. Once the final product is assembled, T18 moves the products to the store section. Depending on what is the interest of study of the system, for example, the design of control strategies or the evaluation of performance of the assembly recipe, the model could be refined or extended. Even new sections of the assembly system may be added to the Petri net model. The manufacturing system and assembly lines, as well as communication protocols, are some of the most popular type of systems that are modeled and studied with Petri net models. However, other types of systems such as workflow management or logistics systems are similarly likely to be modeled and studied by means of Petri nets. Moreover, the design and implementation of complex software systems is as well plausible to be addressed with Petri net models. The addressing of software design with Petri nets is popular because the construction of models for complex structures and control flow is quite intuitive thanks to its graphical nature. Moreover, the techniques developed around the Petri nets allow the construction of models that are usually more compact than the produced by other methods, such as those developed in graph theory. However, Petri nets and graph theory are not antagonist. On the contrary, the theory developed in one of them is usually extended to the other. Thus, they are usually complementary to each other. Depicts a block diagram of a reader and writer problem in computer sciences. The processes share a region of memory where they can read and write. The diagram depicts the process that can read, process that can write, and process that perform both operations, reading and writing to the shared memory region. This situation arises in several cases in the design of monolithic and distributed system, within the area of software design. The problem of readers and writers. The problem considers a set of process that can read and write to a shared memory region. The system must allow any number of simultaneous reading operations, while the writing operation requires that no reading operation is in execution. On the other hand, when a writing operation is in execution, no other writing, nor reading, operation is allowed. Depicts a model for the above problem of readers and writers. The net represents a system with 2K readers modeled as P2. The system allows up to K parallel reads from a shared memory region. It is represented by the marking in P3. However, the writing operation requires K tokens on P3. That is, it requires that no reading operation is currently in execution. Correspondingly, when a writing operation is in execution, no read operation is allowed. This is represented by K-weighted arc of T1. Thus, when writing operation is in execution, by the firing of T1, the K tokens in P3 are removed. Once the reading operation is done, the firing of T2 returns K tokens to P3. The Petri net model allows any of the 2K processes to read and to write to the shared place P3 by connecting the place P2 to the reading or writing sections of the net. A Petri net model that represents the typical problem of readers and writers. The model allows up to 2 processes 2 that can read or write to and from shared memory resources 3. However, unlock of them can be concurrently in a reading operation. On the other hand, the writing process requires K tokens to be on the shared placep 3. That is, no reading operation must be executed by any of the 2 creators INT2 to allow the writing operation. Thus, the writing operation must wait until all the reading operations have finished. Similarly, when a writing operation is in execution, no reading operation is allowed, since API is empty. Other attractive attribute of the Petri nets is their solid mathematical basis. The incidence matrix that represents the structure of the net and is represented by 1. The incidence matrix is independent of the initial condition of the net. This structure could be analyzed by methods from the matrix theory, linear algebra, or vector spaces, for example. The state equation of a Petri net allows a formal definition of its dynamics. The next state of a Petri net can be computed from the current state, and a multiplication of the matrix that represents the structure of the net and a vector that represents the transitions that can fire, as follows. The vector UK represents one or more transitions that are allowed to fire. It is known as the Parikh vector, in a clear relationship to the Parikh's theorem. This theorem relates the strings in a context-free language and the number of the occurrences of the symbols in these strings. In a similar way, the vector UK represents the number of times each transition is fired at a given stage in the evolution of the net. In this sense, the Parikh vector behaves like a functor in the sense of the category theory, from the strings over the alphabet of events in a day to vectors that quantifies the occurrence of events in a day. That is, the Parikh vector loses the execution order of the events in a trajectory of a day to obtain a pure vector which is simpler to operate by a matrix multiplication. There are different semantics for the execution of the transitions in a Petri net model. First, in a single firing semantics, only one of the enabled transitions can fire at a time. Second, in the multiple firing semantics, all the enabled transitions are allowed to fire at a time. In all the semantic approaches, the conflicting transitions, that is, the ones whose firing disables the firing of others are resolved by priorities, by a probability distribution, or some other conflict resolution mechanism. Depending on the adopted semantics, the ability of the models to capture dynamics of real systems differs. For example, if the analyzed system is of distributed nature, such as a cluster of computers or a cloud service, then the correct semantics is that of multiple firing. The expressiveness of the different semantic mechanisms is a theoretical question that lies around the computer sciences. The next subsections detail some theoretical aspects of the Petri nets and application in science and theory of systems.